Hi, this is Alessio. Hope you're well. I thought I'd give you a very quick update on the whole XRP situation here after this most recent bounce that it had, as you can see there. So the big question I'm sure you're wondering is, okay, is this the bottom on XRP? Is this this major rally we saw on XRP most recently? Is this the end of the downtrend and the beginning of a potential uptrend? Or is it like most rallies we've seen on XRP in the last year or so, which have actually gone nowhere, essentially like a pump and dump, like you see here? Because as you can see here on this chart, there have been several failed rallies on XRP over the years. For example, this rally that occurred here, this massive spike in price you see here, occurred in July of last year. And by the way, there was some huge good news on XRP, but look what happened afterwards. Immediately after the good news about XRP, and by the way, many exchanges like Coinbase relisted XRP after this piece of good news that came out, but look what happened after that. It collapsed. You can see right there. So this is why, guys, we have to remember markets are not rational. Okay, they're not predictable. They're not linear. So we have to remember that when it comes to chart analysis, because so many people out there think mistakenly that markets like XRP and Bitcoin are rational, that they're linear, that if good news comes out, oh, the price will go up. And if bad news comes out, then price will go down. That is not the case, guys. The markets don't work like that. Again, let me repeat, the markets are non-linear. They're chaotic. They're unpredictable. They're uncertain. So please do not think in these linear terms that if good news comes out, then therefore the price will go up and so on and so on. This is nonsense. All right, guys, let's dig into the chart of XRP. What I want to talk about is this the beginning of an uptrend in XRP? What's going on here? Is this rally impulsive? Is it composed of 5 waves? And if so, let's look at the Elliot wave model as well. Plus also have a quick look at this weekly chart of XRP and what is it telling us as well. And also very interestingly, what Google Trends about XRP is telling us as well. All right, guys, join me. All right, guys, welcome back. So before we dig into the charts, I want to first of all show you something very amusing and fascinating. Whenever XRP does something huge, like for example, the recent rally, we always see the typical questions come up, as we can see here on Google Trends. Look at this most recent one. First of all, this one was very confusing to me because I couldn't figure out who is Brandon Biggs. He's a guy that is predicting that XRP will go to $10,000. So obviously a lot of people have been interested in him. Usually you get to see these kind of things on Google. Why is XRP up today? Again, Brandon Biggs there. And why is XRP going up? And these are search terms that people are looking for on Google. So there's a lot of interest suddenly in XRP, as we can see here. Now let's go back to the charts. So you probably remember in my previous video about XRP some weeks ago, I said there's a high probability that XRP eventually, by the end of this year, is going lower, to significantly lower levels. Now I should say that my expectation for XRP to go to lower levels was by the end of this year or perhaps by the beginning of next year. As you can see from this particular chart, I said, this is a screenshot of my video, by the way. As you can see from the screenshot, I said support at 0.41 and 0.35 have to break to confirm. Okay, this is very important, to confirm the downward move. So it's not just like I said, oh, okay, price is going to go down. No, price has to actually break support levels before we can be more confident, before we can have a high probability that price is ultimately going to head lower to the 2022 lows or 2023 lows. And that is important because price did not break. It did not break this key level of 0.35, which of course did not trigger. Okay, so we never had a trigger of that particular downward potential. So going back to our chart, this is XRP, and you can see, but I'm using a non-logarithmic chart here, a standard chart, because I want to see the trend lines better, and the Fibonacci levels and the levels on the chart show better when it's not logarithmic. So as you can see here, this is the trend line that I showed last time around. Now you can see that XRP, first of all, it broke it a few weeks ago. As you can see, broke that, and it broke that level at 0.41, but then it quickly reversed back above the trend line, okay, as you can see there. So that was a false break, and typically false breaks can be bullish in nature. Not always, but usually a false break of a trend line like this and support levels, they can potentially be bullish in nature. Now we shall see. It's not clear just yet, but as you will see here, XRP never broke down. XRP did not break this important support level that I mentioned last time round. 0.35. And as I mentioned in my previous video, XRP would have to first break that level at 0.35 before I can turn bearish on XRP, before we can have a high probability that we're going lower to the lows of 2023 or 2022. Okay, so as you can see, that level did not break, and that's important because that means the bearish scenario never got triggered. Okay, so what does this mean now that XRP has rallied back above the trend line, and are there any clues on the chart right now that tell us perhaps a bottom is in for XRP? Well, you might actually be surprised to hear from me that there are some positive and indeed good signs on XRP, and I'll show you why. But let me first of all say this. As I said in my previous video, this entire rally that we had on XRP from 2022, this rally we had here on this crypto, from the lows of 2022 to the highs of last year, was extremely overlapping in nature. Okay, for example, as you can see, lots of overlapping structures like this, when the price just went nowhere. And these overlapping structures, like you see here, they're indicative of a corrective structure, a corrective pattern. And corrective patterns like this, very overlapping like this, they're not very good signs of a potential uptrend. Okay, so that's a major problem we have at the moment on XRP. So, in other words, this entire rally at the moment is still a problem for me. Okay, and by the way, this entire drop also is problematic too, as I'll explain in a few moments. Okay, so nevertheless, despite that, let's have a look. Let's just zoom in on this chart, and you will see something quite interesting. Okay, this rally, the first question I always ask whenever there's a rally like this is, okay, fine, the price has gone up, but is the rally impulsive? Why? Because as we know from Elliot wave theory, in order for an uptrend to start, the first wave of the uptrend must be composed of 5 subwaves, or indeed 5 smaller waves, as you can see here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and notice they're not overlapping. The waves, so what I mean by that is, in an impulsive structure, okay, in an impulsive structure, waves 4 and waves 1 and 2 do not overlap. Okay, that's very important. So that is what we mean by an impulsive rally, a 5-wave rally, which must be followed by a corrective pullback, which usually pulls back by about 38.2% to 61.8% of the first rally. Okay, so that could be, in other words, what we have here is a wave 1, wave 2, then wave 2 completes. Okay, then when wave 2 completes, then we start the wave 3 to much higher levels. By the way, you'll notice that wave 3 is also composed of 5 smaller waves. So in other words, what we need to see on the chart, as I explained, is something like this. A wave 1, which is impulsive, followed by wave 2, and then to confirm that we are in an uptrend, what we need is for that next rally to take out, the next rally must take out the highs of wave 1 to indicate we're in a wave 3. Let's go to our chart of XRP. So this is their most recent rally in July on XRP. So the big question is this just like all previous rallies? Notice that previous rallies on XRP pretty much failed to get anything going. Pretty much pump and dumps, like you see here. Went up, crashed. Went up, and then dropped. Could this be like those other ones? Well, here's what we're going to do. Let's go and zoom in on this chart, and let's go to a lower time frame, like a 2-hour chart. Okay, and by the way, you can use a 1-hour chart if you want, doesn't matter. So this is a 2-hour chart of XRP, and the question I want to ask is, do we have an impulsive rally? It does appear like we probably do, which is a good sign. So this could be potentially a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, we do have 5 waves to the upside. So it is arguable, it is possible to say that this rally that started from the beginning of July could potentially be a wave 1, 2, 3. So we got 5 waves up, as we can see there, 4, 5. So this could potentially be a larger degree, I'll put this in red. This could potentially be a larger degree wave 1. Okay. And this drop here could also potentially be a larger degree wave 2. Let me get my pen. So in a nutshell, it's arguable to say that because we have a 5-wave rally here, this could be a wave 1, and this drop here could potentially be a wave 2. All right, potentially, or possibly. All right, by the way, remember, wave 2 could extend deeper as well. I mean, it's come to the 38.2% retracement. You can see it's come to the 38.2% retracement of the previous rally at 0.54. But it could extend a bit deeper, like to 0.5, to 0.47. We shall see. Okay. The bottom line is, though, the good news is that this rally so far has been impulsive in nature. However, does this prove that XRP has bottomed? that we've started an uptrend. No, it does not. Because as you remember, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, let's go back to that chart. Okay, as I just mentioned, just because you have an impulsive rally like you see here, it doesn't prove you've bottomed out or you're starting an uptrend. What you then need a correction, which can be shallow or deep, doesn't matter. But then what you need is a rally that takes out. The next rally must take out the high of wave one. That has not happened. So let's go to our chart of XRP here. So far, so good. So far, I mean, we've had a nice rally, which appears to be, as I said, it looks impulsive in nature on the lower time frame structure. And even on a higher time frame, we can actually make this out. As I explained, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So far, so good. This could potentially or possibly be wave one. And this drop here could potentially or possibly be wave two. And in case you're wondering why am I being very cautious, the reason is, as I just said, until XRP takes out the high here, this recent high at approximately 0.64, 0.643, I think it was, more or less. Until it takes that level out, we still do not have a high probability that we've bottomed out. So if XRP can now take out, let's say it holds support at this range. So let's say, for example, it's coming into this range here for a potential wave two. As long as XRP can stay above this important support, this yellow line, at 0.43, okay, which is a key support level, because below this level, I can no longer maintain the possibility that we're in a wave two, okay? So just bear that in mind. If XRP were to drop below this yellow line, 0.43 or 0.42, then no. The odds become significantly lower that we're dealing with a wave one and two, okay? So XRP needs to stay above this yellow line, this support, the 0.436, ideally. And if the price can then rally again from, let's say, within this range, and let's say if we can take out the prior high here, okay, so if XRP can now rally and take out the most recent high, ideally above 0.643 and above 0.65, for example, then the odds increase that we may potentially have bottomed. Please don't become confident that just because we have a 5-wave rally, that therefore it's bottomed out, that therefore it's a done deal, and therefore we're definitely going higher. No, I need confirmation. We don't yet have confirmation. Okay, all I'm saying is a positive sign so far. It's a good sign. So as we can see, XRP has come up to that trendline resistance, got rejected from that level. It dropped from that level. So we shall see what happens here. So what we need in a nutshell is now for XRP to take out that most recent high resistance, about 0.64, 0.643 approximately there. Okay, and let's see what happens. If we can get above that level impulsively, by the way, I would also prefer these highs to be taken out too. You may remember in the video I did with Charlie Burton, I mentioned these levels, about 0.72, 0.75 approximately. So I would prefer if XRP, if it took out this high, let's say it took out this recent high there at about 0.64, for example, I would also need to see follow through, ideally above, again, 75 cents, even 72 cents or 0.72, 0.74, just to increase the likelihood that indeed we've bottomed out. Okay, I should say though that if XRP indeed did take out this level, this most recent high, impulsively, this most recent high, about 64, 0.64 here, that also would be a good sign, a positive sign, because we're breaking this trend line, this downtrend line. So a break of this level, if it happens, would be a positive sign in itself. All I'm saying is just to increase the probabilities further, I would want to see follow through above 0.72, 0.75, okay, that level, because that would also increase the likelihood that indeed we've bottomed out. Okay, so far so good, and let's just see what happens. At the moment, I'm going to keep an open mind. One of the reasons why the chart of XRP was looking quite negative and bearish when it was over here was because the momentum was increasing significantly to the downside. But look at this, momentum is now reversed in the opposite direction. Now, we'll see if it lasts. Too early to call. Okay, so momentum at the moment seems to be reversing from negative to less negative on this histogram chart. But again, it's too soon to make that call because as you can see here, if I just zoom in here, and you'll see why, because we need to break that resistance. We haven't broken resistance just yet. So I want to see some signs that XRP actually wants to show to us, persuade us that it's bottoming here by taking out. And I'm sorry repeating this point again, but again, 0.64, 0.643, that trend line resistance must break before we can actually adopt a much more bullish view on XRP. Let's wait and see what happens. And this is why we need to be patient for a breakout, because if XRP, this is very important, if XRP instead were to break down below 0.43, near the lows it made here, okay, then forget it. A breakdown, if XRP was to drop and break down below 0.43 and 0.42, then forget that potential, forget that bullish scenario, because that would mean a likely strong decline for the bearish scenario that I mentioned in my previous video. Indeed, potentially testing the lows of 2021 and 2022 if that support gets broken. If 0.38 gets broken, or indeed 0.42 as well, that would increase risk to significantly lower levels. Yeah, potentially to the lows of 2021 and 2022. So please bear that in mind. So that's why we need to be patient and wait. Let's wait and see what XRP, what Ripple here decides. However, guys, before I finish the video, let me just say one more time that because the most recent rally we had on XRP here was impulsive, composed of 5 smaller waves, and as long as price remains above this support and take out the prior high, it does look good. So it's a positive, promising sign in XRP. As I mentioned, we just need confirmation by taking out resistance. Let's wait and see what happens here. Okay, that's basically what I have. By the way, I know there's going to be some trolls, some really uneducated, really ignorant people out there saying in the comments, oh, Alessio is saying it's going to go up and it's going to go down. If there are any of those ignorant nincompoops out there, all I would say to them is that you're not listening. Okay, if all you've heard in this video is price is going to go up, price is going to go down, that means you've not been paying attention. That means you understand nothing about probabilities and you're just embarrassing yourself in front of everyone. All right, guys, hope this video helps. Thanks so much indeed. Bye for now.